Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So currently we just have around a few attendees left. So we're just going to wait a couple more minutes as we wait for more people to join. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today, giving us your time. And we're super excited to have you all join and learn about our new program. So we'll just give it a couple of minutes, around 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can start. Good afternoon, everyone. For those who are just joining now, welcome to the webinar. So we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes while we wait for more attendees to join in, and then we'll be starting in a bit. So we'll just give it another minute and then we'll start. All right, so I think we can pretty much start now. So once again, hello everyone, and welcome to the NBB Digital Banking Challenge webinar. My name is Amira Mohammed. I'm the Senior Business Development Analyst at Bahrain FinTech Bay and will be your moderator for today. So in today's webinar, we're excited to speak about our newly launched program in partnership with our founding partner, the National Bank of Bahrain, where we'll be delivering the NBB Digital Banking Challenge. So we'll have our speakers give you a little bit of background on the challenge in the first 30 minutes, followed by a Q&A segment where we'll be answering all of your questions. So during the webinar, please feel free to type in your questions at any point on the Q&A tab or on the chat, and we'll try to address them towards the end. So just to give a brief background about the program, the NBB Digital Banking Challenge offers Bahraini youth an amazing opportunity to develop new and creative solutions focused on the NBB's new digital banking application. So the challenge will be divided into 2 phases. The first stage would be the boot camp, followed by the second stage, which is the 6 weeks digital incubation period. And it will offer a supportive and a collaborative environment where participants will be working very closely with the NBB and Bahrain FinTech Bay team on your solutions. So with that said, it's my pleasure to introduce you all to today's speakers. We are joined by Mr. Amar Al-Adami, the head of retail digital banking at NBB. Welcome, Amar.
Thank you, Amira. Thanks. Thank you very much.
And also would like to introduce our very own Mr. Badr Sauter, the Chief Operating Officer at Bahrain FinTech Bay. Hi, Badr.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Amira.
So I think we can pretty much get started. So first, I'll start with you, Amar. We'd love to hear your thoughts on, how do the solutions of digital banking, of the digital banking challenge align with banks, with NBB's vision? So, tell us a little bit more about the launch of the NBB's digital banking app and what you're aiming to achieve with this challenge.
Sure. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much, Amira, once again. I think, let me tell you a bit about our vision as NBB as part of our strategic vision towards Bahrain's community to contribute towards the youth and specific for this program and to fulfill our obligation and within the ESG initiatives that we have. This is a very exciting program or a challenge for the youth to actually come up with their own ideas and help us build a superior application, banking application, and a lifestyle-oriented application to our customers. And obviously today with our digital first strategy, we are in line, our also responsibility to be in line with that strategy in terms of providing superior, unique value proposition to our customers through different platforms coming together to an ecosystem that provides a lifestyle app serving the customer at the right time with the right product offering to them. How does this come up together? We thought about it. We said, how do we actually come up with something that is interesting, and how do we engage with the younger society and the youth to come up with their needs today? As we get older, there is a new generation that comes along with a lot of the new initiatives. They have their own language today. They have their own needs, their own requirements. And what's better to understand them better, understand that persona and specific, and serve them better going forward. They are the future. We do appreciate this new era and their mindset as well. And it does complement our vision altogether. So we sat down, we came together, obviously with you guys as our partners, as always, and we say, what do we do? So we said a challenge would be great. So everybody likes challenge today. It's a trendy, cool word today between the youth. And we come up with and pick up the right brains, the right skill sets, and we take them and fine tune them, and we educate them more, and we tell them more about how this could help us into the banking industry and the new digital space. So this was the formalization of the whole program, and this was the challenge in brief, and how we came up with that. The outcome of this challenge is to come up with unique identifiers or unique products, services, partnerships that would be developed in one of our platforms. We do have basically the NBB Digital Banking platform or application that is out today. My advice for everyone who would love to participate with us is to download that and look at it and maybe explore it further and see how they can add value to that. We do have another surprise that is going to come out very soon. Another platform that will tap into the lifestyle. Again, we're considering applications, or maybe we're considering the challenge for both applications here, mainly focused on the banking one, but the other lifestyle-oriented application will complement the whole picture. So even if it's a lifestyle application or maybe a lifestyle idea or a concept that could complement digital banking in a way, we are welcoming that. So the outcome is to come up with something unique that they will develop with the help of ourselves. They'll help us to actually develop together and come out to the market with something that Bahrain needs. So that is in brief what the vision, the mission, and the outcome of the vision.
Wonderful. Thanks, Amar. And I think I'm pretty much excited to see how, being an NBB customer myself, seeing how all of the outcomes of this challenge is going to kind of put together and just bring something quite amazing. So Bedir, can you tell us a little bit more on who are eligible to join the challenge and what criteria are we looking for?
Thanks, Amira, for that question. I mean, before I get into that, I think, first of all, I would just wanted to thank Ammar and the NBB team for, giving us the opportunity to run such a fun challenge, honestly speaking, right? We get to do a lot of these kinds of events and programs at BFB, but this is something that's really, really unique. It's an opportunity which you don't necessarily find as a student, and I definitely didn't have it as a student, to get to work with one of the largest banks in Bahrain and really kind of show off a little bit of your creativity and all of that. So I mean, first off, off the bat, we just wanted to thank NBB for this opportunity. When it comes to eligibility and the criteria, we had many discussions prior to launching the program on who would be the ideal kind of candidates to kind of take part in such a program. And with NBB's kind of forward thinking and strategic thinking, they said that the application, it has to be tailored to the youth. It has to service the youth very well. And so we wanted to make sure that the solution comes from, or the solutions and the ideas come from the youth themselves. And so from that, we've come to a decision that we want to keep this program strictly for the youth. So it is tailored for university students and graduates who are between 18 to 24-year-olds in Bahrain. And that's just the general overall kind of criteria. We are accepting students to apply from a variety of different backgrounds in terms of what they've decided to study and what kind of areas of expertise. And ideally, we're looking for a wide selection of students to apply from different disciplines, because we want everybody to kind of look at these challenges and kind of bring out their own kind of spin onto how they look at finding solutions to them.
Perfect. Thank you, Svedder. So, Amar, I think one useful part for the attendees to know is, what are the different areas that the bank is looking for in product development regarding, finding innovative solutions for its for the NBB's, digital banking app?
Very interesting question, because the floor is up for innovation here. And as Bedr said, we want something new, something fun. Could be something that's already out there, but it could be an enhanced experience. So there are main pillars that we look at. So product development, a unique product that serves a niche market or a market need that is not being addressed yet for a segment of customers or for our customers. So we do have a brand promise of being closer to you. And that has different angles. The first angle is, of course, engage with the youth to bring up that mindset and to actually deliver for our customers and become closer to our customers when addressing their needs. So if there is a problem statement that we have at NBB, that will be shared in details within the program itself or the challenge. If there is a unique identifier that lacks within the market and there is a need for it, we welcome the idea. If there is an experience that could come. So again, customer experience, the UI UX part of digital today is a big space that we have to address, because the psychology of digital customers is completely different than what used to be before. I'll give you an example. Before, we used to wait for Windows 98 to load within, or download a file within what? Better maybe we remember the days when we used to wait for a couple of hours to download the game.
I think a lot of the crowd might be too young to read to Hadi, and we're showing our age now, I think.
Yeah, well, today I think we can't even tolerate an Instagram post to take more than a couple of seconds if it wasn't already loaded. So it's like, what's wrong with the internet? It's not working. So again, we're looking at a different mindset altogether, a different psychology for customers, a different trend, a different segment. Again, this helps us as bankers today, or in that fintech space or digital space, to understand more, to learn from them. We are very open, with an open mind. We say, we learn from different, today our kids teach us how to use certain things, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know that could happen. So we appreciate that sort of interesting knowledge that comes. Now, for the outcome itself, it could be a product that is a unique product that taps into the customer lifestyle. And maybe something that this segment or the customers want to see the banks offer more. It could be a combination of bringing everything together, like a product, a service, and maybe an added value service or a unique service together to complement the customer lifestyle as a one-stop shop. It could be a service, which is currently being offered, but in a different experience. It could be a new service altogether that we have not integrated with, or it could be a partnership for a lifestyle orientation sort of program or maybe event. So what I mean by that, I mean that we can be the bank who at the end of the day provide the payment of it, or maybe contribute towards supporting that matter. All of this, and it's fun. It should be fun. It should be in trend with the gamification of doing things today. This is a huge space that not everyone is tapping into, and it needs to be mature a bit. I think it's a bit too young for it in the market to actually be understood. So when I say gamification, I'm talking about if Amar today is 20 years old and he opens an account, he works and he's 25, he can go from level 1 to level 2 and unlock some sort of perks. So that's another experience that we do in Call of Duty. Once you go from level 1 to level 2, you actually unlock a new weapon. So all of these things are within the radar, but we need to refine them in here. The teams that will be in the challenge and actually take that as a raw model. Now, we will help them refine it and fine-tune that skill set altogether. And the outcome could be one of them, product, service, or a unique value proposition into the customer's lifestyle.
Perfect. And I think it's quite amazing that although NBB's it has been launched and the application has been launched and still quite in the early stage, but it's amazing how at such an early stage, the words of the ideas of the youth are very much in tune to how NBB wants to kind of move it forward. So that's amazing.
I think to complement it as well, we use agility today. So yes, you are very right. We have launched our application, our new application, by early 2021, and precise it was the mid of January. So far, we have more than 20 releases. I mean, when we looked at the number, going back, well, today we're in September, 9 months, that period. We look at it, be like, wow. But that comes because we have implemented a new sort of mindset to become agile. And today's in the fintech world and that digital space, we have to be fast and we have to be proactive.
Exactly.
We use data to actually. So a lot of.
Yeah, it's like Amar, the example that you used earlier, right? We had to wait, 3-4 years between Windows 98 and the next version of it, but now you get Windows updates every 2 days, right? And it might be annoying, but it's constantly evolving. And this is the way that I guess fintechs and tech companies work, and that's what we're looking for this application: a constant evolution based off of what the customer feedback is and what the customers need.
Absolutely, evolution is the key word here, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So better. So you mentioned about the criteria earlier, but once a person kind of fits in the criteria, can you tell us a little bit more about how the application process goes and how's the process when it comes to the selection of teams?
Okay, good. So basically, the way that it works is we have the applications are open until September 20th. We're accepting applications. Now, when you apply, and this is really important, you can apply as an individual or as a team. So if you and your friends, you want to kind of go into this together, you have 2 or 3 people that you want to work together and submit an idea together, you can apply as a team. Alternatively, if you don't have a team already built, but you're an interested individual, you want to get into it, you want to get to work with new people, you can apply as an individual. Once you apply as an individual or as a team, on the 21st of September, so the day after the applications are closed, we will start reviewing everybody, and we'll start taking all of the individuals and placing them into mini teams. So these teams, typically, we will look at your background, what you specialize in, and we'll have you working with people with different and complementary backgrounds. So we create mini teams. And then on the 23rd of September, those teams are going to be announced. So the day before the boot camp. What will happen after that is, of course, we'll go to the boot camp. You'll get to meet all of the different teams within NBB and learn more about what they're trying to achieve and so on. But then once after that process, you will have 1 week. So between the September the 26th to the 30th to work with your teams privately, discuss ideas, come up with ideas, and come up with a plan of what you want to do. At the end of that period, so by the 30th, you will need to submit a short video with you and your team, just giving a background about yourself and what it is that you're proposing to NBB. Then those winning teams will be selected and shortlisted to take part in the actual program itself. So it's a multi-step kind of process. There's more information available on our website also about the dates and all of that. But if you apply as an individual, you'll be put into a team.
All right, that sounds pretty clear. We'll have one of our team put in the webpage on the chat. So in case for anyone who is interested, please make sure that you have that on hand with you when you apply for the program. All right, so I think this question most probably is for Omar. So how will the bank be working alongside the participants? Now, I know you've said that NBB is very much looking forward into making this more of a collaborative experience with working with the youth and trying to come up with innovative solutions with the app. So how involved are the NBB team going to be when working with the participants in redesigning or adding more features to the digital banking app?
Yeah, so we're involved. Our commitment here, I think, between NBB and Bahrain FinTech Bay, we together bring a bunch of good experiences, a great bunch of people, great bunch of different mindsets, experience, skill sets, and fields as well. So we will be engaged. As I said, the aim of this is not only to have 3 winners to develop something. The aim of this is to graduate everyone from a boot camp that they actually benefit from into the market, into their own businesses, become strategic partners, and maybe in the future, maybe you're not a winner, but you end up having a good relationship with NBB to develop something else, and maybe you create your own startup, and maybe you're incubated in a different way. And I think our involvement here, our commitment towards this is 150%. I wouldn't even say 100%. So you will have the boot camp, you'll have different experiences. So you'll have people young, like myself and better, to maybe educate you about what's happening in the fintech space and how it's evolving for the past few years and what are the new trends within that. And from our experience of what you see, you'll have people from product development, how do we develop digital products, digital services, customer experiences. But you will also have access to mentors from different departments like product development within the bank itself, like the sales and marketing, like the information technology, the information security, compliance, audit, legal. So you kind of not only develop one aspect of the whole product, but you are going to meet the main or the let's say these stakeholders and they're not going to be just the stakeholders. They are the people that are involved into every product development within the bank. So the exposure here is to the know-how of how the banking works. You'll be behind the scenes kind of experience where you see the people doing actual stuff. You'll be part of that team. You'll understand how things are actually evolving within the organization. What are the right steps? What do we do? How does it? What does it take as a young individual to have the mindset of an entrepreneur to develop something for themselves, or maybe for the bank or for the challenge? So again, different experiences, different mentors. Our engagement will not only be limited to the challenge itself, but will go beyond. They will have direct access to our ourselves whenever they want with the information, their questions, their curiosity. So again, exchanging experience here and maybe mentoring them, fine-tuning the skill sets towards a longer vision in terms of graduating from a program, having a professional career going forward.
Yes, and I think that's something quite unique with this program, is that everyone will get the chance to have that first-hand interaction with the actual people involved in the design of the digital banking app, which is quite amazing. It's quite a unique opportunity, especially with these times where people can't really go out, and getting that experience to be involved in such a way, I think it's amazing.
I just want to, sorry. Go on.
No, go on.
No, I just wanted to add one thing. I mean, to be honest, like even, this kind of access to, the core teams within a bank, typically you would only get it after years and years of experience and making your way up in the organization to be able to actually sit down and spend time with all of these leaders, right? And so as a young person, even if your idea doesn't end up getting picked or doesn't go through or whatever reason, just that exposure, I think it's a great learning experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I think sorry.
Yes.
But you're absolutely right. It's not only that, also from another point of view, this is like a crash course. You are not learning something from a book or something that you have in university, but you're actually looking at something happening. So that practical experience is we learn in universities, we learn from books, but it's a completely different ballgame when it comes to implementing something. And here you're gonna get your hands into developing something practically. So it complements everything. It's a crash course. I think, I really encourage people to come into this program just for the sake of learning and seeing how things evolve, and maybe for them to get an idea and add something or unlock something within their mindset to develop something going forward.
Exactly. And I think this gives a proper segue to our next question, which is towards you, Better. Noting down that the first stage of the program is the boot camp, what can the teams expect in the boot camp that is scheduled for the September of 24th and 25th of September? So will this be a virtual event? Will this be a physical event?
Yeah, I see also some of the questions that are coming in asking the same thing. So might as well answer them all at once. So basically, the event is going to happen over a weekend. It's going to happen over the weekend, and it will be on the afternoon till early evening time. During those 2 days, it will be a chance for you to, first of all, it is going to be a hybrid of virtual and physical. So anybody who is vaccinated, and hence we've asked asked in the applications for that, is going to be welcomed to come in person in our office space in our capital building to take part in it physically. If you're not able to, or you still are not comfortable, or you're not comfortable meeting in person, you can join in through our Zoom through our Zoom link, and you can participate like anybody else through the online. The boot camp itself is going to happen, as I mentioned, from late afternoon until the evening time, and we are looking to. The idea behind it is to have an opportunity to kind of hear initially from each of the teams from within the NBB team. So what it will be run as a series of panels. So series of panel discussions with the different teams, and then from those panel discussions you can learn a bit more about each one of the teams and what they're looking for and what they're doing and all of that kind of activities. We've also received some questions asking about if students who are above 24 years old can apply, or would they be accepted, or so on. What actually we do, we will accept applications for students who are above 24 years old, but you're not guaranteed to get it because the priority is for the kind of initial scope. But if you are over 24 to 55 and you're interested in applying, please do apply, and definitely your applications will be considered. Yeah, I think I answered most of the questions.
Yeah.
Well, some of the questions.
Yeah, no problem. We'll answer a couple of the questions because I've been seeing that we are getting quite a good amount of questions. So we'll have that answered in the end. So just before we actually enter the Q&A segment, last question to Amar. And I think this is one of the more exciting questions that people are actually would love to know about. But what will the winning teams actually receive towards the end of the program? And also, how will NBB support the winning teams post-selection?
Well, first, everyone is a winner because the access, as Badr said, it's the experience is tremendous here. And I think not only because there are people from Bahrain FinTech Bay and NBB, but because we also, as NBB, we deal with the best solutions globally. So we're not talking best solutions in Bahrain. We learn a lot from experiences from the best solutions in Europe, the States. So we always implement that based on the detailed studies and business analysis. But coming to the most exciting question, cash. So the winners will actually receive cash prizes. And I don't know if you want to reveal all of the prizes now.
I'm not going to reveal. We won't reveal too much yet, Amar. We want to keep them in suspense. The guys at the NBB have planned some really nice prizes. Yeah. Trust me, it's worth all of your time. But we don't want to reveal everything just yet.
So, yeah. So apart from cash, there will be a set of prizes that will come as we go on the program itself. Trust me, they're exciting prizes. They're good opportunities. I wish that we get as much. I would love to see as many as applications as we can to evaluate, to make it even difficult for us to actually look at applications and select from. And I think I'm looking forward for a very exciting challenge. Can't wait.
Likewise, we're super excited, especially what's been emphasized here. You have at one hand, getting that opportunity to work with one of the leading financial institutions in Bahrain, and here have a fintech hub on the other end. So it kind of the two combination pretty much gives a very unique experience that everyone would pretty much benefit, regardless if you are chosen as the winning team or not. And I think that pretty much ends our a brief conversation, a bit more of the background of the challenge. We'll start going through the Q&A, and we have quite a few questions. I see one attendee actually applied from the first day of the launch of the program, so that's amazing. Okay, so first question, quite an interesting question we have from Fatma Hashim. How can a banking and finance student benefit from this competition?
Simple. What you learned on paper, you're going to see in reality, and you'll see all the challenges that come with it. So your translation of words will become, I mean, there is an old saying, right? Teach me, I'll learn it for a while. Show me how to do it, I'll learn it for a lifetime. So this is the kind of experience we're given. You will see different products. You will see how we actually come up with such products. You will see how do you actually assess the market. So we'll go through every step of the process to understand how to become a banker and maybe find your right passion towards your future career. Whether it's going to be in a bank or whether it's going to be in your own organization or your own startup, or maybe, and you will learn the future of fintech. So today our segment is what's going to be sustainable for the next coming years with a very unique sort of different approach. So this is one of the things that you're going to get.
Exactly. All right, so another question we have is a representative at Ahliya University. So the question is, will students be grouped according to the university, or will you be grouping students randomly? And also, can they send as many students and teams as possible? Is there a limitation? So I'll have Badr answer a few of those questions, and then I'll continue on.
I think, I mean, that's an excellent question, and thank you for bringing that up. The way that we're going to group students is not by university. We actually want to encourage diversity in ideas, in where the teams are coming from. We think it's a great opportunity for people to interact with people with different backgrounds and going through different university courses, right? And so we want to create these mini teams which have people who are technical, non-technical, maybe from the arts or from different kind of professions or different kinds of backgrounds to work together. There is no limit on how many students you have applying. Specifically for the bootcamp, we want to encourage as many students as possible to apply and to get the biggest number through the bootcamp, because it's only after the bootcamp is where we're going to become selective to who goes through the whole 6-week-long process. I think part of the question is also asking if the students are going to, or if it's only for Bahraini students or not. And that's not the case. The program is open to any students that is in Bahrain currently. There's none of the, that's not a restriction.
Exactly. We do have a question as well, that is the boot camp held on the weekdays or weekend if they have university classes? So like Badr had mentioned earlier, the program is, the boot camp specifically are going to be held on the 24th and 25th, which is a Friday and Saturday. So there won't be an issue in terms of, it's kind of colliding with your university schedule.
For the actual program itself, it will be held during the week and usually in the late afternoon. The sessions, there are some general sessions which will be with multiple teams, which would happen later on in the afternoon. There are also one-on-one sessions, and those are going to be scheduled directly with the mentor. So that timing is a bit more flexible.
Okay, so we have another question from our Q&A. It's a question that could be answered both by Amar and Badr. What are the different skills that are you looking for when it comes to potential applicants for the program?
Amar, do you want to take that? Or
no, you can start. I can complement that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the different skills, as I just mentioned for the previous answer, we're looking for people that come from different backgrounds, right? And I think that's where we have this kind of synergy that happens. We don't want to have groups which are all very, very technical developers and so on, which don't have the business kind of background, or they don't have the different. We want to create an environment where we have these mini groups which each team member can contribute to a specific part or bring in new ideas and to bounce ideas. So there isn't any kind of a specific skill set that we're looking for. We like to encourage people from different backgrounds to apply.
Yeah. So again, looking at every product, you look at finance, technical, so IT people, you're looking at governance in terms of maybe legal. You can say the marketing and advertising is a big one. Experience, so even to the developer, UI designers, and experienced designers. They are a very important. They never used to have a very important role within the banking industry and the financial industry, but today they have an instrumental role towards building digital solutions. So all of this in terms of specific skill sets.
Perfect. Okay, so another question, we have an anonymous question from the audience. Do we have to prepare a presentation on our idea during the bootcamp? Can you tell us a little bit? I think this will be pretty much answer on how the selection process will go. So pretty much, how are they supposed to be preparing a presentation for the bootcamp?
So the way that it works is there is no presentation before the bootcamp, and there's no presentation during the bootcamp. The week after the bootcamp, you'll have a chance to to talk to your team, to meet with them, to discuss different ideas and come up with a proposition. Then you will be required to just record a short video, which just introduces your team and what your idea is, right? We didn't want you to spend too much time at that stage developing a pitch presentation. We just wanted to, just have a look at the team, get to know the teams, and then based off of those videos that are submitted, the most interesting ones would be selected to move forward to the program.
All right. So we have a question from the chat. Either Amar or Badr, feel free to pitch in on that. So the question is, are we going to be able to contact and have meetings with the NBB staff if requested to have, to receive additional information concerning specific issues?
Yeah. I mean, part of the program is that kind of exposure, as Badr said. So yes, definitely. You will get direct access to us, our emails. Maybe we arrange meetings. So as we go, as I've mentioned today, agility is key. We can modify, customize, and add certain stuff if required, and that's to address. Again, the aim here is to truly have a tangible outcome for the challengers and for us to transfer the knowledge to them as well. So yeah, definitely.
One thing maybe I'll just add also to that is that even from NBB's side, there's going to be specific mentors who have been identified from each of the teams, right? And you'll have direct access. So you'll have access to the marketing teams and to the product development teams and the IT teams and all of that with a direct contact. So yes, definitely.
So we have another question, anonymous question. How will the acceleration phase take place? Is it going to be online or is it going to be physical? So I believe this might be about the the second phase of the program.
Yeah, so the actual program itself is going to also be a hybrid of both. So we will have some sessions that will happen in person, and sorry, you will always have the option of joining in online or coming in person. There is never going to be a point which you will not be able to join in online. Obviously, we're very happy right now that we're at a good place in terms of the COVID restrictions and the flexibility that has been given to us at this green stage. Obviously, if things change between now and then, we will have to adapt to those changing conditions.
Exactly. All right, hope that answers your question. And I think this is probably the last questions we have. So at the end of the 6-week period, do we understand that the ideas will be implemented either as a startup track or NBB track or mentorship track? Can you please explain what exactly these tracks are? So I think that's pretty much just like a combination of what the program will consist of: the NBB track. What are the NBB track? What is the mentorship track? And what is startup track?
Maybe I can explain that a little bit better. So as teams, you will go through all of the tracks throughout the whole process. It's not like you're choosing one and only going on one of those tracks. You will be running through those tracks simultaneously. So the 3 tracks that we have, and this is an excellent question, is so there's the NBB track, which is basically your interactions with NBB directly. And then the startup track will be more on what are the fundamentals to start your business, what are or if you wanted to turn your idea into a business, what do you have to do? What things do you need to go through? What's like business canvassing and business model canvassing, and how do you build your teams, and all of those kinds of questions. And then the mentorship track is a separate track where it is a one-on-one kind of conversations that happen with the mentors to discuss specific issues or problems and challenges that you have. So I hope that answers that question. Yeah. Sorry, I think there's also one more question that we had before, which we missed. If you're a Bahraini student studying abroad,
yes.
are you suitable for taking part in the challenge? And I think, to be honest, I don't think there's anything that's restricting you to take part in the challenge, even if you're not in Bahrain, as you will always be able to join through Zoom or through the online channels. So we do encourage all participants to apply, even if they're not currently in Bahrain.
Yeah, as long as you're aware of the time differences and specific schedules, I think it'll be fine. And just adding to Bedr's answer to the question about the tracks, to put it in perspective, every week during the 6 weeks incubation period, you'll have all of those specific segments covered within the sessions on a weekly basis, so that every time you hit on all of those 3 bench points, for the 6 weeks. I think, let me just double check if we have another question. Yes, so we have actually one more last question. How many teams, or I'm guessing how many team members would each team have? And do they need capital to actually go through with an idea?
So how many teams will each team member have? I think that's, we're aiming for three people within each team. That's kind of our goal. What was the second part to that question?
Do they need capital?
Will they need capital? So no, they will not. You will not require any kind of specific capital to start off with or anything like that. There's nothing expected, I guess, from that. Obviously, in your proposals and so on, moving forward, if you do require something, you can have that discussion with NBB directly. I think we got a couple more questions also just now.
Maybe you want to come for your next business plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have a question. What is the 3-month incubation at Bahrain FinTech Bay? Does it mean if a student is selected at the end of the 6-week period, there's a 3-month incubation support for the startup?
Yeah, so what it basically means is at the end of the program, or if you're one of the winning teams or one of the selected teams, you'll get access to office space at Bahrain FinTech Bay, which is where I'm at right now. You'll probably have a desk similar to one of the desks that's behind us. That's actually a participant from a previous program that we have, and you'll be able to come in the office and use the space to kind of develop and work on your company. Actually, even before getting to that stage, all of the startups throughout the actual program will have access to the space. So throughout the incubation program, the 6 weeks, they will all have access to the space and to desks and so on.
And like Amar had mentioned earlier, this incubation is not the only thing we have in store for the prizes. We'll have much more, exciting prizes that we'll be announcing quite soon. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the questions we have. Obviously, if there are any further questions that haven't been covered in this webinar, please feel free to email info@Bahrain FinTech Bay with your questions, and one of our team members will make sure to answer your question with regards to the program. But other than that, thank you so much, Bedr. Thank you, Amar, for joining us and answering all of them. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Make sure you follow both NBB and Bahrain FinTech Bay's Instagram pages, where we'll have all of the posts about the program circulated through there. And feel free to again email us at info@Bahrain FinTech Bay if you have any questions, or if you
share it with your friends.
Share it with your friends.
Share it with your friends.
So I think one of our team members have put in the email on the chat. So just make sure to note that down. And again, thank you so much. Thank you to our speakers today, and hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and good luck, everyone. Looking forward.
Thank you. Good luck, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye.